You were just born. Congratulations! You are approximately 4 hours old, you weigh as much as a river rock, and something very large is already trying to eat you. Welcome to ancient Earth. Population? Not many. Life expectancy? Honestly not great. And you, tiny screaming hairless creature, are right in the middle of it. Let's talk about your odds. You were born outside. Not in a hospital. Not in a house. Outside. On the actual ground. Your mother did her best. Your father was probably somewhere nearby holding a stick and looking confused. The stick was not going to help. It is roughly 200,000 years ago. There are no doctors, there are no vaccines, there are no baby monitors, no soft blankets, no little hats with the fold-over ears. There is dirt, there is wind, there is a hyena approximately 40 feet away who has just noticed that something small and loud has arrived.
Your tribe moves fast to cover you up. You stop crying almost immediately because even at 4 hours old, some ancient part of your brain already understands that being loud out here is a terrible idea. That instinct right there just saved your life. Your first survival skill, learned at 4 hours old. Genuinely impressive. Day 3. You are still alive. This is actually statistically remarkable. Roughly half of all ancient human infants did not survive their first week. The causes were cold, infection, predators, and the general attitude of the ancient world, which was not particularly interested in whether you made it or not. But you did. You made it past day 3, and then day 7, and then your first month. Your mother carried you everywhere. Your tribe protected you. You contributed absolutely nothing. You just ate, slept, and occasionally screamed at birds. And somehow, the whole group kept you alive anyway. That is love. Ancient, exhausted, probably very hungry love. By age 2, you are walking. This is both a development milestone and a brand new way to get yourself killed. You now have mobility and zero judgment, a genuinely dangerous combination. You wandered toward a fire twice in your first week of walking. Your uncle pulled you back both times. Your uncle did not think this was funny. It was a little funny.
By age 5, you understand the rules. Do not go near the river alone. Do not touch the berries with the red dots. Do not make eye contact with anything larger than you unless you are fully prepared for what happens next. You have learned these rules the way all ancient children learn them, by watching other people break them and suffer the consequences. Very effective teaching method. And just like that, against all reasonable odds, you survived childhood. Now you are 13, and things are about to get significantly harder. Being a teenager in the ancient world is exactly as awkward as it sounds, except instead of just being embarrassing, it can also get you killed. You are old enough to be expected to contribute to the tribe. You are not yet skilled enough to actually do that reliably. This gap between expectation and ability is called being 13, and it has apparently existed for 200,000 years. Your first hunting trip. You have been preparing for this your entire life. You have watched the older hunters. You have practiced throwing a spear at a tree until the tree had genuinely had enough. You are ready. You walk out into the grassland with the other young hunters, your spear raised, your jaw set, your heart going absolutely berserk inside your chest.
You see a deer. You throw your spear. You miss the deer. You hit a rock. The spear bounces off the rock and lands 6 feet behind you. The deer looks at you. Not running, just looking. Just standing there, looking at you with a completely calm expression that somehow communicates both pity and mild disappointment. And then it walks away slowly. It does not even run. It walks. That is how unthreatening you were. The older hunters did not laugh out loud. They did something worse. They said nothing. They just looked at each other with that very specific look that means we will discuss this later.
Day 2 of the hunting trip. You miss again. Day 3. You miss again, but the spear goes a bit further this time, which you choose to count as improvement. By day 5, something shifts. You stop trying to throw hard and start watching where the animals actually go. You learn to be patient. You learn to be quiet. You learn that hunting is 90% waiting and 10% not falling over when you finally do throw. On day 7, you catch something. It is not large. It is not impressive. It is technically a rabbit. A small rabbit. A rabbit that was possibly already sick. But you caught it. You brought it back. And the tribe ate that night. Rabbit shared between 20 people, which means each person received approximately 1 bite. But it counted. It absolutely counted. Your first fire attempt was similarly educational. You rubbed 2 sticks together for 45 minutes, produced a small amount of smoke, and then a blister,
and then sat down in defeat while your older cousin lit the fire in approximately 90 seconds using a slightly different technique he did not explain to you beforehand. You are still thinking about that.
But you learned. Every failure was a lesson delivered directly to your body at high intensity. That is the ancient human education system. No classrooms, no textbooks, just consequences immediately, every time. By 16, you are genuinely useful. By 18, you were one of the better hunters in the group. The tree you used to practice spear throwing is completely destroyed. You feel a little bad about the tree. Not bad enough to stop, but a little bad. You survived being a teenager in the ancient world. That alone puts you ahead of a significant portion of the historical population. Now you are an adult, and being an adult in the ancient world means you are now responsible for keeping other people alive, which is a significant upgrade in difficulty from just keeping yourself alive.
You have a partner. You found each other the way ancient humans found partners, through proximity, shared danger, and the ancient equivalent of having the same sense of humor, which mostly involved laughing at the person who fell down. You fell down in front of them 3 times before they agreed to build a shelter with you. Some things never change. You have children now, 2 of them. They are loud and mobile and have absolutely no fear, exactly like you at their age, which means you now completely understand the expression on your uncle's face during those first weeks of your walking. You spend an extraordinary amount of energy preventing these small people from making every single mistake you already made. They make most of them anyway. That is also just being a parent in any era. Your shelter is good. You built it with your own hands from materials you gathered yourself. It keeps out the rain most of the time. Occasionally it keeps out the wind. It is technically 4 walls and something approximately like a roof, and you are genuinely proud of it. It is the nicest thing you have ever owned, because it is the only thing you have ever owned.
You lead hunting parties now. The younger ones look at you the way you used to look at the older hunters, with that mixture of admiration and terror that means I am learning everything I can from this person because I do not want to end up explaining a missed throw to a judgmental deer. There was the season the river flooded, and your tribe had to move in 3 days with everything you owned, which you will remember took about 20 minutes to pack because everything you owned fit into 2 bags and your arms. There was the winter that lasted longer than anyone expected, and the food ran low, and everyone got very quiet and very efficient, and no one wasted anything. And somehow you all came through the other side. There was the time you got chased by something you would prefer not to describe in detail and outran it, because fear, it turns out, is an excellent source of speed. You have scars, several of them. Each one is a story. Each story ends with you still being here. That is the only ending that matters.
By the time you are what passes for middle-aged in the ancient world, you are 35. 35! That is middle-aged. Let that sit with you for a moment. You have lived a full adult life, raised children, led hunts, survived floods and winters and that thing you are still not describing, and you are 35. In the ancient world, that means you are now officially an elder. People come to you for wisdom. You give it to them. You have earned every word of it. Now you are old. In ancient human terms, old means somewhere in your 40s, and the tribe looks at you like you are a living miracle, which you essentially are. You have outlived most of the people you started with. You have watched children you helped protect grow into hunters. You have watched those hunters raise their own children. You have seen 3 generations of your family stand in the same camp, and you are the one they all came from.
You move slower now. Your joints have opinions. Your back has been filing formal complaints for about a decade. You still go out sometimes, but mostly you sit near the fire and tell stories. The young ones gather around because the stories are good. The stories are good because they are true. You were actually there. You saw all of it. You threw that spear at the deer, and the deer looked at you with pity and walked away slowly. And you have now told that story so many times it has become the funniest story the tribe knows. You have made peace with this. You teach the children, not by lecturing, by showing, by sitting with them while they figure things out and only stepping in when they are about to do something genuinely dangerous. You let them make the small mistakes. You stop them before the large ones. This is wisdom. It took you 40 years to figure this out. The fire is warm. The night is clear. You can hear your grandchildren somewhere nearby doing exactly what you did at their age, testing every boundary, making every noise, and being exactly as impossible to predict as small humans have always been. You lean back. You think about the deer. You start laughing.
Nobody else around the fire knows what you are laughing about. That makes you laugh harder. After a moment, your partner starts laughing too, just because you are laughing, which is honestly the entire basis of a 40-year relationship in any era. And then, quietly, comfortably, surrounded by everyone you love, with a warm fire and a full stomach and a life that was difficult and dangerous and short by any modern measure, but was completely and entirely yours. You close your eyes. You made it! From the ground, 4 hours old, with a hyena 40 feet away, to here. Not bad, tiny ancient human. Not bad at all. And if you somehow survived this entire video, you are clearly built different. Mr. Paint wants you to hit subscribe, because next time we are finding out what happens when you do not make it past the deer. Subscribe or the hyena wins.